It's funny. She already knows I'm trying to trick her. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. If today it goes out when it's supposed to, then it's going out on a Wednesday. So happy hump day. Made it through half the week. I wanted to sit down and talk to you guys for a minute and let you know how Mason was doing, about my computer, and a bunch of you guys said you wanted to meet Ella and get a chance to know her story. I know all of my pets, even ones that are no longer here, have a story on my channel, but Ella does not. Ella, however, is my Skitty kitty. I took out the treats to sit down to get her here, and she already knew I was trying to trick her. Like, she sat over there like, she's sitting down, she's got like stuff propped up, and she's got treats. She has plans, and it's not just to feed me. So she's kind of already on the high alert. I am hoping I can get her over here. Ella, Ella, come here. Oh, no, you are Oliver. I want Ella. Yes, Oliver. Okay, here. That's for you. Ella, come here, baby. Ella. Come here. Will you just say hi to friends for a minute? Here. You can eat. Do you want to eat it out of my hand? Good girl. So she is extremely skittish. You know Izzy, the one I talk about. She's my little adopted daughter. Hold on, come say hi. You see? She looks just like Oliver. Kind of. She's a lot more red in her, or orangey in her coloring, and she's very tiny. Like, we call her Beetlejuice because she has like this little tiny head. Look how little her head is. You got a little head. You got a little head. Yeah, you got a little head. But she's just, I mean, when it's quiet at night, especially when the kids were gone. Here, baby. When the kids were gone over the summer and it was a lot more quiet in here, she was coming downstairs and laying down more and being good. But she really does not, Oliver, stop. She does not like being held for long, and she wants to be held on her terms. So if she wants to be held, she wants to come snuggle up, sit in your lap, and she wants you to pet her when she wants to. Come here. Fatty. No, 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 no. No, no. Ow. Oliver. Why you no say hi to friends? Why you no say hi? See, this is Fat Cat Boy. There's a Fat Cat Boy. No, I know, you guys don't want to stay because I have snacks. And you'd rather eat the snacks than pet mommy, right? Or let mommy pet you, right? Here, that's your last snacks. Easy. We're doing the greenies, so at least they're getting what they need for their teeth. That's it, you guys. No one's getting any more, so don't even try putting them in my lap. That's it. I did it to trick you so I can get you on camera. Mom's awful like that, right? So she came essentially from Izzy, like I said, my adopted daughter. At the time, Izzy was living with a boyfriend. She's not with him anymore, but not that that matters. But anyways, she was living with her old boyfriend in an apartment complex, and Ella's mom, Lily, was actually like a baby. She herself, when she got pregnant, because when Izzy found her outside, she was what appeared to be a kitten outside in the freezing cold. It was February, and so Izzy felt really bad, and she brought Lily inside, but Lily was not getting along with her cat Ron at the time, and so she kept Lily for a little while. But like I said, her and Ron were not getting along, so Izzy brought Lily to her mom, and her mom took her to the vet and then found out that Lily was pregnant, and so she ended up keeping Lily. She still has Lily, and she still has Izzy kept one of Lily's babies, which is Nobu. And so Lily and Nobu, plus they have their own cats and stuff too, but Lily and Nobu now are with Izzy and her mom, because now Izzy is back home and she's got Ron with her anyway, so now she's got a whole plethora of cats and their dog. So it's a nice eclectic love family of pets over there. But needless to say, it was really fun because at the time Izzy was working at Matinga's with me and I was working there, and then this girl Kennedy was also working there. And so when they were trying to get rid of these kittens, when the cats came about, we all took one. So I took Ella, and then Izzy took Nobu, and those were the girls, and then Kennedy took a boy, and that's Zion. And so every like year on their birthdays and then on their gotcha days and stuff, we all share pictures of like, do you remember when, and that kind of thing. But for whatever reason, Ella is just so super skittish. She is the runt. None of them are as tiny as she, which originally I didn't think that was going to be that big of a deal. When Izzy said like, oh, she's the runt of the litter, so was Oliver. And like, this dude's a fat cat. So I was like, okay, whatever, no big deal, runt. But she really is very tiny and petite, and like we call her Skitty Kitty because if you just even like stomp on her, like stomp in her direction, she'll run and hide. She just likes to be contained by herself. And then like I said, when it's quiet and stuff, she'll come out and she'll relax. It's not like Oliver, like he's the king of the castle, he roams the whole house, he'll sleep right next to Bruno, like none of that phases him. Now for like the first couple of years, she didn't even want to go downstairs to be with Bruno. We had her, well, it was 2 years that we just had her in May. We got her right after we got back from Jen's wedding, which was the end of May, and Izzy held her for me a little bit longer until I could get home from our trip, because I had to go to New York for Jen's wedding. And so when I got back, then we got Ella, and I'll put some pictures and stuff in here for you because I have some of the cutest pictures of Maya and Mason just adapting to the new kitten. They were so much younger when we got Oliver, so it was really cute to see like their interaction as they were older with Ella. It was very, very sweet. But now it's they love each other, and it's cute when they sit next to each other. Like I'll put a couple of pictures up of the two of them, but they really love each other, and it was good for Oliver. He's changed a little. He's not as snuggly and stuff with me because she's very like, she's a baby, so she's still very jumpy. I mean, she's not a baby, she's 2.5, but she's still like the baby when it comes to him because he's gonna be 5 in September. So like they're double, you know, in age. And so I think she keeps him lively and she keeps him on his toes, and he's always afraid she's gonna pounce or like come at him or like surprise him or sneak at him, sneak attack him or whatever. And so he's on such high alert. He doesn't like crawl under the covers and like nestle up with me or whatever like he used to, but other than that, they really love each other, and Bruno just wants to play with them. And now they're both at the point where like they're chill with him, and so like they'll all lay on the floor together. It's sweet. It's sweet. It's a nice, we're a nice family when it comes to pets. Maybe I would do one more cat because I know, like I said, they're easy to maintain and they keep to themselves. And I've thought about one more dog. I said no more dogs, but Bruno is a pain in my butt. You guys, he's so lonely, and I think he would benefit from a dog. He hasn't been the same since Ruby's gone, and so I think he would benefit from that. But I also just don't want to deal with a new puppy, 1, when we're moving, 2, in a new house. So like, I don't know, I guess we'll decide that. But okay, now that we're a few minutes in already, yeah, quite a few minutes in, let's talk Mason and computer. So computer, the long and short of it, it was completely fried. Like, it was nothing that he thought it could have been that was simple and easy. Of course, it was the motherboard. I wasn't even worth replacing the motherboard because he was able to get me a refurbished one for the same cost that it would have been for me to change out the whole motherboard. So I didn't get a brand new computer. I can't right now. Like, I'm literally not supposed to spend $1. So as it was for me to spend like 500 bucks on a refurbished computer, even that was more than I wanted to do. But $500 for a Mac in the grand scheme of things, with warranties, and with this guy who is literally amazing. Like, he deserves a 5-star review. He is just thorough and quick and understanding and compassionate and informative and all of the things. Like, I literally loved him. If anybody's in the area, I know quite a few of you reach out and say that you're local to me. If you need someone to fix your computer, reach out and I'll send you there, because this guy was so darn good. So very appreciative of him. He got me a refurbished computer really quickly and was able to get a Pro in my hands with enough space and stuff to get right back to editing. So I think I was out of commission for about 72 to 96 hours, which, one good day off and I was back up and running. So feel really good about that. Now let's talk Mason. So a lot of great advice from you guys. I wish I would have had it a little bit sooner, but it took me so long to get that video out because my computer was broken. But okay, let me tell you that getting a second opinion was the best thing that we can do. It was really just not sitting well with me about going with that one particular dentist anyways. A lot of the things you guys were saying in the comments made a lot of sense, and we had already made those decisions before, because all of that happened before the video even went out. But it's funny that we were all kind of thinking along those same lines. But Daryl kept saying, like, babe, I don't want to go with them. They feel transactional. They just feel like this is so routine for them that they don't feel sensitive to Mason. And I don't like that. Like, this is shitty. You know, I mean, he'll bounce back. Everyone said kids are more resilient than we think. He'll figure it out. But this was sad for him. And like, we had to make good decisions, and we had to make sure we were choosing the right person, because this is the front of his mouth for the rest of his life. So some of you were sharing stories like, oh, this happened to this one, and they're 40 and they're fine still. And then some of you said, yeah, it happened to us, and it was a very long journey to get them to where they needed to be. So everybody shared different stories. You never know the path that he will be on. So I really wanted to make serious decisions, but we called a bunch of places, and of course no one's going to give you pricing or recommendations or anything over the phone. You have to be seen. So out of everybody that I called, there was this one dentist that I felt was just a everyone I spoke to in the office had so much compassion and just real, genuine, how can we help this baby concern. So I ended up saying, okay, if we're going to go for any second opinion, I want to go there. And I freaking loved her. Like, after we sat and spoke, she said, listen, you can decide whatever you want, but if this were my child, this is what I would do. And I loved just that approach alone. Even if it was a big crock of bowl, that's a great way to approach a parent. That's bedside manner. Hey, this is not what needs to be done. It's a root canal. It's a this. I mean, they wanted $2,500 for his root canals and all of that. It's a lot of money to spend. I have no medical insurance. I just said I'm not supposed to be spending any money. Like, that was pretty incredible, and an emergency. Like, no choices here. So I want to make the best decision about the money that I spent. And so when sitting down with her, she was like, look, I'm gonna be honest with you, there's no evidence here that supports anywhere that he needs a root canal right now. He may in 30 to 60 days when we monitor the root, and if it dies, then we have to address it. But we have no idea if it's a dead tooth right now. And some of you shared stories that it happened around this age and then they were still able to bounce back with no issues. Well, the dentist was saying that's because if it happened to like us as adults right now, if we slipped and fell and cracked our teeth on a desk, we would need major root canals and damage control and all of those things, because our teeth are long established. But Mason's only had his two front teeth for 2 years. So what she said is they are considered, like his teeth are considered young permanent teeth. So they're still soft in texture. They're not hard like your regular teeth are. His are still very soft and like pliable, almost resilient, like the words you guys were all using. And then they felt like he would have been unable to even consume any food or even touch it if the root was that exposed. She felt like maybe because his teeth were so long and like it wasn't closer to the root, that it might be worth trying to save the tooth. And I just liked the attempt of trying to save the tooth, if that makes any sense, because again, this is the rest of Mason's life. And so I just didn't want to be so quick to say the tooth is dead at 11 years old and we're going to drill it and make it the root go away, and then he no longer has like viable front teeth. I just wanted time. And some of you said like, oh, we just had them bonded, or we just this, and then they were fine. And so what if that could be Mason's path? How would we know? But the least we could do is monitor. But she said some of his bigger problems was that he has other cavities in his mouth. We were supposed to do cleanings and some minor fillings back in March. But then Daryl left his job, so we lost our medical insurance, and then we never got a chance to finish off doing what Mason needed to do to his mouth. Well, now some of these fillings that he needed, these cavities were up against permanent teeth and starting to cause cavities there. So for the same amount of money, I was able to get all of his cavities filled, get him into a dental program there. Like I paid for a discounted program for the year so that it would discount the overall cost of this. Like, you know, pay $150 for the year, get cleanings, x-rays, maintenance, plus discount, blah, blah, blah. So did all of that, and then was able to get like all of the fillings he needed, getting him a good cleaning, and then building out these front teeth so that we can monitor. And then they said like in 60 days, we'll do 60 days post-op, and we'll see where his teeth are, and if it's starting to turn the color of his teeth and the root is dead, then we'll go ahead and do a root canal, and then she'll put what we spent on the bonding and the build out of his teeth, which was $375 per tooth. She said she would apply that towards his root canals or whatever, so it wasn't like wasteful money. I mean, so smart, right? So I loved that. Plus they were able to get him in yesterday. So I'm filming this on Tuesday. I'm hoping you guys are going to see this on Wednesday. Mason went for surgery yesterday, on Monday, which was great because he wasn't even due to see the other dentist for another 4 days. 4 days, because we were taking the morning appointment, so we were going to cut it from the 3 weeks to the 2 weeks. So he shortened it by 4 days. However, he's in a crap ton of pain today. He said he is so uncomfortable. I just picked him up from school. I'm gonna wake him up in a little bit. He told me to wake him before I go to work, so I'll see if I can get him to show you guys like what he got done and see how he's feeling. But he called me from the nurse's office 3 times today. He said he is in so much pain. He said 2 different people were working on his teeth. I didn't know that, but he said the one working on the right was the first dentist that we talked to, and then he said that she spent the entire time telling the one on the left side what to do, and the one on the left side is the one that hurts him. So that was a little weird to me. I didn't know how I felt about that, so stay tuned for that. I tried to call the dentist when I picked him up from school, but I kept getting the machine, which is the same thing that happened to me yesterday between 1 and 2. So maybe that's the time that they take lunch. But I couldn't reach anybody. So I'm going to call in a little bit and see if I can get them either in to just check him up really quickly or find out how long they want to wait. But 3 times to the nurse's office. He took Tylenol there. I brought him home and just gave him Advil and told him to go take a nap. And my kid never takes a nap. Usually I will say go take a nap, and then I would have caught him inside in his phone or his iPad or something, but no, I went back up 5 minutes later and he was already sleeping. So I know he's very, very uncomfortable. So stay tuned. I'll give some more updates. That's really all that I know right now. We'll talk to Mason when he gets up, and then yeah, I mean, that's, like I said, that's all I really know right now. And then I guess it's just gonna be a day-to-day at this point right now. And I have not heard back from the car people. Still no money back, and all they did was, I did get one email that said my phone number isn't right, but it's written and my phone number is right. So they said, can you please give me a valid number, and I said that number is valid. Just please leave a message. Like if it comes up a 1-800 number or something, I'm not going to answer it. So leave a message and then I can get back to you. And I've not heard from anybody, or did I get another email? So I got nothing, you guys. But all right, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this because it's already 20 minutes and I want to go ahead and, well, at least for me, I haven't done any like editings or this or that. I know there was like something in the beginning, so I don't know, where my camera says 20 minutes at this point, and I still want to insert a little clip of Mason once he gets up. So let me go and then we'll talk to Mason in just a few minutes. All right, buddy, let me see that pretty smile and them pearly whites. All right, so tell me, how are you feeling right now?
Tired.
Tired?
Even though I just woke up. Yeah, it's probably because if I dip my hand some more, I would be up and awake. I'm still feeling like I'm asleep.
Okay, well, why don't you take a little time to wake up? How is your mouth feeling now?
Better. Kind of tingly, but without the tingle. It's hard to explain.
You told me before it's like your teeth are sleeping.
Kind of like that, yeah.
Yeah, but you haven't. The Novocaine from yesterday should have worn off, so I'm not sure why you're feeling like that. But why don't you go back and rest? I'm gonna go to work, okay?
Okay.
All right. I love you too. You feel a little warm.
Yeah, but that's because I've been sleeping in the sun all day.
Okay. I'm walking out of his room. He's like, Mom, don't tell him I'm in pain. I don't want to look like a wuss. I'm like, Bud, it's okay to feel pain. The kid is smiling through it, but he really is uncomfortable. For him to be sleeping, like I said, in the middle of the day, still feel tired and that kind of thing, that's just so out of character for him. But I want to give it like a good solid 24 to 48 hours. I still haven't been able to get in touch with the dentist, but I have to leave to go to work now. So I'll try and call them again on my way, but I need to leave in like 10 minutes and I still wanted to pack myself something to eat and start a laundry. But all right, you guys, thank you for sitting down with me today and always letting me update you and caring enough to want to know the updates. I do appreciate it. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.